a little story time to when I had my manufacturing business in San Diego. So some may not know, but I ran a manufacturing business in the apparel industry for about 6 to 7 years. And what I learned from that was the hard work and dedication that you need to have and the discipline to grow a large company. I remember staying in my office when we first started out, like a super small 500 square feet office in Miramar in San Diego. And we're like, let's grab pictures off of Google, put them on Instagram, and say we manufacture apparel. And we had relationships overseas in Pakistan and China, Indonesia that made products for a clothing brand. And we were like, we can just do it all. It was such an interesting experience because I had to learn marketing, I had to learn logistics, I had to learn design, I had to learn web design, I had to learn how to do mock-ups, how to learn to do sales, how to learn to do social media. And this is back in 2013, so this is just pictures, really. So what we would do was take pictures off of Google, post on Instagram, and send a bunch of DMs manually, reaching out to hashtag clothing brand to find our target demographic. And the reason why I gave you this little context, when I was in the office last night, and it meant a lot to me that I was in there until super late. And I just want to share that because when I was 18, 19, 20 years old, I would be the one handling logistics and talking to the manufacturers. Keep in mind, my manufacturers were over in China at the time. And so that's the funny part. I literally was talking to my manufacturers until 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning, and then wake up and go to the office at 8 o'clock in the morning and do it all over again. Do the marketing, do the designs, do everything, and stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning at the office, talking to these manufacturers, trying to understand what they're trying to communicate to me. Because obviously there's a huge language barrier, especially when I was talking to people in Pakistan. And I would do that every single day, 7 days a week. And I wouldn't change that for the world. You know, some people always say, oh man, you got to live your college years, man. You got to get drunk. I think that is the dumbest thing ever. Just my opinion. I think that's one of the dumbest things ever. To go to college, to just get blackout drunk every weekend. What is cool about, like, when was there a time that thought that was cool? I don't know. It still blows me away. So what I did, and again, I'm not saying I'm cool, but I invested so much into my future to where every skill I have now is because I put the work in my 20s. I was head down, learned so much. I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about psychology. I learned what I loved and learned what I didn't love. I learned so many skills. And I really good conversation with a friend, Blake, that owned Popular Demand. And we're talking about AI and talk about all these different things. And he told me, he's like, you understand the reason why you stand out from the crowd with AI? And I was like, what do you mean? It's because the context that I have within my head from running a manufacturing business that did everything A to Z, every single apparel product you can name of except for shoes and underwear. It's the only things that we didn't do. And I never thought of it like that. Like, anyone can go to ChatGPT and say, oh, make me a design, do this, so with that. But my mind is wired differently based on the experiences of my life. So I found that interesting. So I guess the key note of this message is to live life a little bit. Go learn something. Invest in your 20s into yourself to learn skills. I like that. At the end of the day, just invest in yourself. Just do it.